Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Ozcast.
All right, so today we're going to deep dive into something pretty fascinating. Imagine like getting a sneak peek into the crypto wallet of Changpeng Zhao,
Oh, wow.
or CZ as most people know him.
Yeah, see?
The co-founder and former CEO of Binance.
Right. One of the biggest
It's-
names in crypto.
Yeah, exactly. And get this, he actually made his crypto holdings public recently.
Really?
Yeah, and that's something you really rarely see from someone at his level.
Yeah.
I mean, security concerns and all that. So we're deep diving into what he's holding, what it might tell us about his investment strategy, maybe even offer a little glimpse into the future of crypto itself.
I'm excited to unpack this. It's a pretty fascinating portfolio from what I've seen.
Well, I got to admit, I was pretty thrown off when I saw that 98.6% of CZ's portfolio is BNB Binance's native token.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of eggs in one basket, wouldn't you say?
It definitely raises eyebrows. But, let's unpack this for our listener.
Yeah.
So a native token is essentially the fuel of a particular blockchain ecosystem. In Binance's case, BNB powers transactions on the platform, gives you discounts on trading fees, and even plays a role in their decentralized exchange.
Decentralized exchange. Now, that's something I've heard thrown around a lot, but never fully grasped.
Sure.
Can you break that down for me and, for anyone listening who might be in the same boat?
Of course. So think of a traditional exchange like the New York Stock Exchange.
Right.
It's a centralized entity that facilitates trades.
Yeah.
A decentralized exchange, on the other hand, operates on a blockchain, allowing peer-to-peer trading without those intermediaries.
Okay.
So this cuts down on fees and can offer more transparency.
That's it.
So BNB being woven into the fabric of this decentralized exchange on Binance is pretty significant.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So back to CZ holding almost all of his portfolio in BNB.
Right.
I can't help but think of it as a chef only eating at their own restaurant.
Yeah,
Like you have to really believe in your own cooking, right?
absolutely.
But is this a genius power move or just a risky gamble?
It's certainly a bold statement of conviction in his own creation. We see this pattern with a lot of successful entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
Think about Jeff Bezos with Amazon stock or Mark Zuckerberg with Meta investing heavily in their own company aligns their interests with the company's success.
Right. Putting your money where your mouth is, literally.
Exactly.
But here's where it gets really interesting. CZ only owns a tiny fraction of Bitcoin, just 1.3%. You'd expect a crypto king to be swimming in Bitcoin, wouldn't you?
It is a curious detail, isn't it, that the image we have of these crypto giants is often tied to Bitcoin.
For sure.
However, there are several ways to interpret this. It could be a strategic diversification play,
Right.
adhering to the age-old wisdom of not putting all your eggs in one basket, even if that basket is Bitcoin.
Yeah, diversification.
Or maybe CZ sees greater potential in BNB's long-term performance compared to Bitcoin.
So maybe he's not just playing it safe, but actually betting on BNB to outperform the OG cryptocurrency?
It's possible.
That's a bold move. It makes you wonder, is he seeing something we're not?
He might have insights into BNB's future developments and adoption that the public isn't privy to.
Right.
This minimal Bitcoin holding could also be a subtle marketing tactic,
Oh, interesting.
a show of confidence in his own creation designed to boost its perceived value.
Interesting. It's like he's saying, look at me, I'm all in on BNB and you should be too.
Kinda, yeah.
But then there's this whole mystery about a stablecoin called URI that CZ apparently forgot he even had.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
Now, how do you forget about owning a cryptocurrency, especially when you're CZ?
That's a good point. Well, remember, stablecoins are designed to maintain a stable value. They're usually pegged to a fiat currency like the US dollar or, in URI's case, the euro.
Mm-hmm.
They're used to minimize volatility in the crypto market,
Right.
which can be a bit of a roller coaster, to say the least.
They're like the calm in the crypto storm.
Exactly.
But even so, forgetting you own a stablecoin, it's almost funny.
Well, imagine managing a portfolio worth billions.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that a small amount of URI just slipped his mind, especially if he wasn't actively trading it.
Yeah.
It's like finding a forgotten $20 bill in your coat pocket,
Right.
A pleasant surprise, but not life-altering.
Not a big deal.
But speaking of volatility and the power of even small holdings, remember that time CZ's dog Broccoli sparked a meme coin frenzy with a single photo?
Oh, how can I forget broccoli?
Yeah.
That's where we really see CZ's influence in action. And it wasn't even intentional.
Exactly. It perfectly illustrates the power of social media in the crypto world, especially when someone like CZ with his massive following is involved.
It seems like a single tweet from him can send a meme coin skyrocketing, which can be incredibly volatile.
For sure.
So we've got this fascinating juxtaposition. CZ strategically betting on BNB, seemingly unconcerned with Bitcoin, and then inadvertently sending meme coins on a wild ride with a picture of his dog. Is there a method to this madness?
That's the question we're going to unpack further as we dig deeper into his motivations and the potential implications of his portfolio choices.
All right, sounds good. I'm ready to keep digging.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, this influence he has.
Mhm.
On one hand, it can shine a light on new projects, potentially drive innovation.
Right.
But on the other, it can lead to hype-driven speculation where people are jumping in based on a tweet rather than, solid fundamentals.
Yeah, it becomes more about following the crowd than making informed decisions.
Exactly.
And that's what makes this whole deep dive so fascinating.
Yeah.
We're getting a glimpse into the mind of someone who's shaping the future of crypto, seeing how his actions align with his investments.
It certainly challenges our assumptions.
Yeah.
You'd expect someone like CZ with his experience to have a more diversified portfolio, maybe even be a Bitcoin maximalist.
Right.
But his laser focus on BNB reveals a different strategy,
Totally.
one that's intricately tied to the success of his own creation.
It's almost like he's saying, this is the ecosystem I built, this is where I believe the future lies, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
But is he being incredibly savvy or taking a massive risk?
Right.
What happens if Binance hits a roadblock?
That's the million-dollar question. What does CZ know that we don't?
Right.
Is he seeing something in BNB's future that justifies this level of concentration?
Yeah.
Or is it a calculated risk, one that could backfire if Binance faces regulatory hurdles or the market shifts?
Yeah. We don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately.
No.
But what we can do is analyze the information we have, connect it to the bigger trends in the crypto world, and try to make sense of it all.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're not just passively absorbing information. We're actively engaging with it, questioning assumptions and exploring different perspectives.
Well, what's really striking me is the contrast.
Okay.
We have this image of CZ as this larger-than-life crypto titan, and yet his portfolio is surprisingly simple, almost boring if you just look at the numbers.
It's an interesting observation. It does make you wonder if this simplicity is a strategic move or just a reflection of his unwavering belief in BNB.
And then you add the contrast of this heavy BNB bet with the fact that he even forgets about some of his holdings.
Right.
It humanizes him, don't you think?
It does.
It shows that even the most successful figures in this space are still figuring things out as they go.
It's a good reminder that crypto is still a relatively young and evolving industry.
Yeah.
There's no rule book, no guaranteed path to success.
For sure.
Even someone like CZ is navigating uncharted territory, making decisions based on his own experience, intuition, and perhaps a bit of that entrepreneurial gambler's spirit.
Because, let's be real, a 98.6% allocation to one asset that's not exactly playing it safe.
No.
It's a bold move, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the long run.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder if CZ, with all his knowledge and experience, is willing to take this kind of risk. What does that say about the potential of BNB or even the potential of the entire Binance ecosystem?
It's like he's sending a message, follow me, this is the future.
Yeah.
But whether we choose to follow or not, that's where our own critical thinking comes in.
Could have said it better myself. This is why we deep dive.
Exactly.
To get beyond the headlines, to understand the nuances, and ultimately to make more informed decisions.
Exactly. Now, there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to explore.
Yeah.
CZ's time behind bars back in 2024.
Oh, right.
It's a wild chapter in the Binance story, and I think it's important to understand how this experience might have shaped his current outlook.
Absolutely. That experience undoubtedly had a profound impact on him, both personally and professionally.
So for those who need a refresher, CZ spent a few months in jail in 2024.
Yeah.
What were the charges exactly, and how did that whole situation unfold?
Well, the details are still somewhat murky, as legal matters often are. But from what we can gather from public records and media coverage at the time, It seems the charges stem from regulatory compliance issues.
Right.
Remember, the crypto world was facing intense scrutiny from governments globally back then.
Right. It was the Wild West era of crypto.
Yeah,
Everyone was
yeah.
trying to figure out the rules, and the regulators were cracking down.
Precisely. And Binance, being the largest global cryptocurrency exchange at the time, was under an especially bright spotlight.
Yeah.
It appears there were discrepancies regarding licensing, anti-money laundering protocols, things of that nature.
I see.
Ultimately, CZ ended up serving a short sentence as part of a plea deal.
So he went from the top of the crypto world to behind bars. That had to be a humbling experience, to say the least.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine the impact, but to go through something like that, it must have been a serious reality check.
Yeah.
And from a professional standpoint, it definitely damaged Binance's reputation, particularly that massive BNB allocation.
Right.
It's as if he's saying, we faced the challenges, learned from our mistakes, and now we're coming back stronger.
He's doubling down on his vision.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into CZ's crypto holdings, what are the key takeaways for our listener?
I'd say there are three major points to consider.
Okay.
First, that surprising focus on BNB.
Right.
It reveals a deep conviction in his own creation, but it also raises questions about the potential risks of concentrating so heavily in a single ecosystem.
For sure.
Second, the minimal Bitcoin holdings.
Yeah.
It challenges the assumption that all crypto leaders are Bitcoin maximalists and suggests that CZ might be looking beyond Bitcoin for the future of finance.
It's like he's charting his own course, betting on his vision rather than following the crowd.
Exactly. And finally, we have the mystery of the forgotten URI stablecoin.
Right.
It's a lighthearted anecdote, but it also reminds us that the crypto space is constantly evolving and that even experienced investors face challenges in keeping up with the ever-changing landscape.
It makes you realize that even someone like CZ is human, navigating this complex world, just like the rest of us. So what does it all mean? Does CZ's portfolio reveal a savvy investment strategy or a risky gamble on a single ecosystem? What do you think our listeners should take away from all of this?
That's the question we want to leave you with. There's no easy answer. It all comes down to your own perspective, your risk tolerance, and your beliefs about the future of crypto. Do your own research, consider different viewpoints, and ultimately make the decision that feels right for you. Don't just follow the crowd, even if that crowd is led by a crypto titan like CZ.
Wise words to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the surprisingly boring but undeniably intriguing crypto portfolio of Changpeng Zhao. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep questioning everything.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.